In this video, I'm going to be using the Insta360 ONE X2 with the Insta360 mic adapter and the Rode Wireless Go, and this is the sound that you're hearing now. I've already done a full review on the Rode Wireless Go, which you can see here, so this video is about how good the sound is going into the ONE X2 via the mic adapter and comparing it to the internal mic. And I'll also show you how to mount the mic receiver on the camera and how to keep it invisible when you're shooting in 360. So there's lots to cover, so let's get straight to it. When you use the mic adapter with the ONE X2, you have no control of the levels that are going into the camera via the camera itself. On the Rode Wireless Go there are 3 volume settings, and I've set the setting to maximum because I think this will give me the best sound out of the Insta360 ONE X2. These in-car shots are being recorded in single lens Steadicam mode, and this is the first example of how to mount the camera, and because I'm using single lens mode I don't have to worry about the cable or the mic receiver coming into shot. So I've used the Ulanzi cage with a cold shoe mount on top, so the mic is mounted on top of the camera. So this is the first comparison example here. I've just switched over to in-camera mic, so the sound that you're hearing now is from the internal mic on the Insta360 ONE X2. We've just arrived in the New Forest, and this is where I'm going to demonstrate more ways that you can mount the microphone on the Insta360 ONE X2 with the mic adapter, including how to keep it invisible when you're shooting in 360 mode. So I'm still shooting here in single lens Steadicam mode, but I'm not using the Ulanzi cage to mount the mic. What I'm using is a simple bracket by Ulanzi, which goes underneath the camera and has a cold shoe mount on it, and it goes in between the top of the selfie stick and the base of the camera. And just to give you another quick comparison with the camera mic, the sound that you're hearing now is the internal mic on the ONE X2. This is now back on the Rode Wireless Go using the mic adapter, and now we're going to look at how to mount the mic using the 360 mode on the Insta360 ONE X2, keeping it invisible. When we shoot in 360 mode, we don't always have to hide the mic receiver in the stitch line. I'm shooting in 360 mode now, and all I've done is mounted the mic receiver on top of the camera using the Ulanzi cage, and I've just reframed it out of shot. Even on top of the camera in this way, we still have quite a bit of flexibility with our reframing. It's only when we come out wider and we want to get more creative with our 360 shots that the receiver and the cable start to appear. There are a few ways that you can come out wider with your 360 shot and hide the receiver in the stitch line. The cheapest way is to place the receiver underneath the camera against the selfie stick and simply use sticky tape to hold it together. And you'll also have to tape the cables as well so they don't appear in your shot. You'll see in this shot that this method doesn't always work perfectly, so I'm going to show you another method which works a lot better. One of my favourite ways to mount the mic is to use the Ulanzi triple cold shoe mount. The mount sits under your hand, and you run a cable down from the adapter on the camera all the way down the selfie stick to the receiver, which sits underneath your hand. And this way you can take full advantage of the 360 image and still get really good audio. And if you were to get these type of shots with the internal microphone, most of the time the sound wouldn't be very good because the camera is too far away. Overall, I'm happy with the results of this test, and I do like using a radio mic because it gives you a lot more flexibility when you're shooting. The ONE X2 results were similar to the results I got with the ONE R, and the one important thing for me was that the levels were high enough going into the camera, and they were. I did accidentally have the wind reduction filter on inside the house, and I think that accounts for the slightly muffled sound to the audio in the kitchen. But outside it wasn't as bad. The interesting comparison was with the internal mic of the ONE X2 because that was pretty much useless, especially in the car. It just really seems to struggle unless the conditions are perfect. Interestingly, outside, when at the time there was no wind at all, the ONE X2 internal mic performed better than the Rode Wireless Go. The sound was a lot richer and a lot more natural. I think the problem with the ONE X2 internal mic is that unless the conditions are perfect, it does struggle, which makes it unreliable. It's worth mentioning at this point that with the mic adapter, you've obviously got the audio input for the microphone, but also underneath you've got a USB-C socket. So this means that you can power and charge your camera battery at the same time as using an external mic. This mic adapter is well worth buying if you want to record better audio with your ONE X2, and I do recommend buying the Rode Wireless Go microphone, but I am hesitant because I do realise it is very expensive and there probably are some cheaper alternatives out there. Let me know in the comments what you think of this audio test, and if you want to watch the full review of the Rode Wireless Go, then you can watch that next here. My name's Rich, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.